it through your heart. So, back to the video. So, basically, this is the Otsutsuki Clan edition. So, after completing the build test, and actually, no, it's tuning exams time. He says, then he figures out that, this is taking way too long. But he's always at the same time. Then when him and Kakashi always arrive at the same time. He goes, "You two are late." He goes, "Look, I have a long way to go. I have a long way to fly. I have to literally fly here from there." She says, "On an airplane?" "No." He says, "No." Then he flies to the sky going, "See, I can fly." She says, "Teach me how to fly." He says, "Hell no." He says, "Find your own way to fly." Okay, he's gonna have normal skin color since it wouldn't really make sense since, like, Indra and Ashura, so what, if they were Hagoromo's children, so what? His wife must have been a normal human for them to look like that. So my dude's gonna have normal skin color, but he's still gonna have his white hair. Living like a rock star. Living like a moose star. Let me in! So, he announces the tuning exams that they're gonna have, and he gives them the forms. He goes, "Well, let's go." And when he's flying, he accidentally hits Kankuro and knocks him over. He goes, "Sorry." Kankuro grabs him and he says, Christian smells something, because he can smell like chakra and Kekkei Genkai. He says, "I smell something very good from you." So he kicks him in the face, then pulls out his chakra rod and stabs it right through Kankuro. He goes, "Oh, a puppeteer chakra." He says, "Maybe I'll eat it." Then he goes, "Ah," and eats it. Kankuro can still use his puppets, but less efficient. He says, "Ah." He goes, Tamari shoots a wind blast, he says, then absorbs it and blasts it right back. She goes, "Argh." He goes, "You really want to test me? You don't want to test me because I got Renegade on my palms? Boy, you don't want to test me, or do you want to get wrecked?" Then they get in for the tuning exams. Christian, being a goddamn Otsutsuki, is insanely smart, so he gets it all right. Easily. He goes, "Living like a moose star." Then, after that, they head to the second part of the exam. Sakura forbids him from... Oh yeah, Kakashi also forbid him from using his chakra rod in case full-on needed. In case, like, he really needs to take someone's strong power away. He goes, "Okay." He's using his true seeking orbs to just erase enemies. So, when they get started, he already has true seeking orbs around them. He says, "Guys, you know there's a more efficient way to travel, right?" They say, "How?" He says, "True seeking orb travel." He creates true seeking orbs into an orb that they can fly in. It's like a freaking hoverboard, but it's much wider. It's like a circle hoverboard that they can all sit on. And also they can touch it. They can all touch it. They don't erase from being from touch. I don't think it's true seeking orbs that you get erased from when you touch it. I don't think it is. I think it's those black rods that Kaguya has. So I think they can ride on him. He goes do 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 do. He senses an enemy and goes and grabs a true seeking orb, which shortens the board, but it doesn't matter. He goes and slashes and bangs it right down on their heads. Then he beats the entire team up and then grabs their scroll and jumps right back up. He goes, "Ah!" and then puts that true seeking orb right back so he can fit again. He goes, "Alright, let's go." Then they fly at supersonic speed going shoo. Naruto's about to fall off, but then he grabs his leg and Naruto goes, "Oh, I'm getting dizzy." He pulls Naruto back up. He says, "We're here." Then they make it. Iruka says, "You guys weren't supposed to open it so early." He goes for a punch and he catches it, saying, "Whoa, we're in the tower, dum-dum." And he spins him around and he goes, "Whoa." Then he goes, "Yeet, yeet, yeet, yeet." Now it's time for the final exam. It's him versus Gata. He says, "Alright." Looks him up against the Jinchuriki. he goes, when it starts, he pulls out, he wields his truth-seeking orb into an axe. He goes, Gara shoots in, he cuts right through it with little to no difficulty. Then he throws his axe, going, boom, hits Gara straight in the face, cuts him. He goes, my blood! He goes, shut up! Then starts hitting him with his truth-seeking orb. He goes, like a staff, he goes, using it as like a blade, he goes, then he forges the truth-seeking orb into a sword, and goes, then he stabs Gara with it, going, he says, now for the energy axe, then cuts Gara up. He goes, Gara is getting absolutely tortured in this fight. He transforms into a half Shukaku and shoots but then he shoots a giant sand attack, which Christian just absorbs and launches back, knocking Gara out. He says, well, that wasn't too hard. And Rock Lee would actually pass this time. I don't really care how the rest of the matches go. Next is Naruto. Next is Christian versus, what's his name again? I want to fight someone who has ninjutsu. So he fights Tamari. After Neji and Naruto's fight, after Neji and Naruto's fight again, she shoots a giant wind blast and he just absorbs it and says, thanks for the power, then puts it in him. Then she uses a giant, even bigger one, which he absorbs and blasts right back. Wait, no, who's he gonna train with? He's not really gonna train at all, because his abilities are far good enough. I mean, he does train a lot, but he doesn't really train too much. He absorbs her attack and blasts her. She goes, ah! He says, and then she's knocked out. Next, the Konoha Crush wouldn't happen, since Orochimaru didn't get Sasuke. The next thing, the third Hokage needs to replace. Oh yeah, the third Hokage would die. So then they need a replacement, and Naruto would set out to go get Tsunade. Look, I don't know how to choose if Christian's got normal skin or white skin. I'm gonna go with white this time. White. Because I want to make him look like a true Otsutsuki, not some weird one. Then he goes and gets ready. So once Tsunade returns back to the village, living like a rock star, living like a moose star. Then when Tsunade calls Team 7 for an entire mission, she says, where's Krish? Where's your other member? I thought you said there's one more. She says, Kakashi says, he'll be here in a couple of minutes. He goes, ah! Then they hear a white light zoom by them. He goes, is that an enemy ninja? He says, nope, that's him. Then he lands and knocks on the Hokage door, She says, come in. He says, hi, yeah, sorry, I'm late. He goes, you're late. Yes, you are. He says, look, it's not my fault I have to travel from a village to here. He says, I'm sorry, what? You can only be in... You're not really a leash shinobi if you just keep on going back. He says, look, I don't care. I've been here since I was 4. I keep on coming left and right because I fly here. He says, wait a minute, are you from that clan of destroyers? He says, Christian with an angered look saying, yes. He goes, am I really here to be insulted? Sakura says, show some respect to Lady Tsunade. He said, Christian floats in and relaxes and says, how about she shows some respect to a clan that started her clan? She goes, why, you little? Tsunade says, why, you little? And shoots a punch. He catches it and absorbs the chakra from the punch and then uses his own punch and knocks her out the door. He says, you can try to attack me, but it won't work. She goes, then she smiles and says, I hereby banish you from the... Okay, no. He starts to get annoyed by Tsunade's treatment, because she always treats Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura way better than him, because when he ever goes on a mission, she only talks to him, and when he asks a question that's a really important mission, she ignores him. Then he starts to get sick of this and tells all the villagers that he's a monster. I'm trying to make Tsunade as worse as possible. Then everyone starts to shame him for being part of a clan of destroyers. He says, am I a destroyer? Do I destroy stuff? I'm the one who fucking saved this village multiple times, and this is the thanks I get? He goes, no, I'm leaving this stupid-ass village. Then he leaves the next day, and heads home, and heads to a different village. And then he flies to the hidden Otsutsuki village and tells them that that he left the Leaf Village, is no longer going back because of the new Hokage. He's heading to a new village called the Hidden Dark Village. He says that he respects his decision and he won't be back for a couple of years. Christian flies off and makes it and goes. Then when he makes it, he heads to the Dark Kage and says, "Hello, sir. I've come to register as a shinobi here." He says, reasoning, he says, the new Hokage literally made everyone think that I was a monster because I'm from the Otsutsuki clan. Making everyone think I was a monster. Alright, he says, okay, you will be on a team with my daughter and her friend. Their names are Moki, I think her name is Moki. I forgot how to pronounce it. It was Mochi, look, I can't think of the name again. Mokie and Suki, I think. And he's a boy and she's a girl. And Mokie's a girl and he's a boy. After a while getting on missions, he's basically doing really good, benefiting the village. But then out of nowhere they get an attack from Konoha. He goes, and it's literally all of his old friends attacking the village. He goes, what the hell are you guys doing? He says, we're getting you back by destroying this evil village. Then someone shoots a fireball at him and he absorbs it and launches it right back at the Leaf Forces, killing most of them. He says, you're gonna get out of my village right now or I make sure I kill all of you. He says, then he grabs Kakashi and forces him to tell him who sent them here. And he says, Lady Tsunade. Then he body flickers to the Leaf Village and goes to go kill Tsunade, to hunt down Tsunade. Then when someone knocks on the door, she says, come in. He kicks down the door and says, then creating a Rasen blast and says, Christian, you're back. Then her desk explodes. He says, what are you doing? He says, this is for sending ninja to attack my village. Then blasts the entire Hokage office to smithereens. He says, I bet you my village is probably already destroyed. Then flies up to the air and goes, almighty poosh. Then turns the entire Leaf Village to rubble. He says, now how do you feel? Then he Universal pulls Tsunade up to the sky and then punches her down. She falls all the way down and is knocked out.